Welcome back, everybody, to Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. I am not in the great state of Texas anymore. I am in the great state of Alabama, my home state. New setup, different setup, new equipment. I'm trying it out. I'm going to hope my camera doesn't die on this podcast. But what can you do? It's Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm back. Miko's back. We might be back. We won a game. I don't know. It's better than what it was. Welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Don Schrankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
You know, the boys, they're looking a little bit better. I was getting really close to sacrifice territory at one point. I was getting really nervous, but getting on a back-to-back, I think I've seen a little bit of improvement, and they're playing in situational hockey that they're going to see in the playoffs. So I'm feeling a little bit better knowing, you know, we got Mikko Rantanen back in the lineup.
Miko coming back was the best. I was still in Texas at that point. So I watched that game in its entirety from start to finish at my house, and it was just a joy to see that guy back. You know, the first shift was whatever, like wrong matchup, didn't get the puck, is what it is. And then literally right after that, I was like, oh, yeah, Miko's back. Because, like, every single thing he did with the puck and positioning and all that kind of stuff, he didn't miss a beat, and he's been gone for a month and a half at this point. Like, it feels like a very long time since Mikko Rantanen has played hockey for the Stars. Obviously, I think it was February 2nd. Was the last time he played for the Stars or something like that, and he hasn't played since the semifinal, right, in the Olympics. So it didn't look like he missed a beat.
Yeah, like it looked like if he didn't tell me what his injury was, I wouldn't have known. Like that's how normal he looked out there.
And it was a lower body injury, and we don't know what it was. Like, I saw him one time after, I believe, the Edmonton game when we just absolutely destroyed him at home. That was a fun time. Saw him in the locker room. The boys were having fun that night. So there was a lot of guys that weren't playing or were hurt hanging out in the locker room while we're doing the scrums, which was funny. But yeah, literally didn't see a brace, didn't see a limp, didn't see anything at that point. He had just started to skate, I think, at that point. So all things look good with Mikko Rantanen. That's fun. Before we get to the game breakdowns of this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the back-to-back that we had, I want to talk to you about a potential Patreon. We talked about it last week. We launched Patreon for Apollo Media. We have 3 different tiers over there, but that's all Houston content. I wanted to see if Clean Sheet of Ice fans wanted extra content out of us. In order to do that, we need to do a subscription kind of based thing with Patreon, make sure that we're getting taken care of, and that way we can take care of you guys. We can do extra giveaways through the Patreon. We're looking at extra live streams, extra pods, live Q&As with the Clean Sheet of Ice team. We can add Luke in there too. Luke will get on camera, get on the microphone and everything, give his takes. You can also get discounts on merch, which we're launching pretty soon. I've gotten with Gus. Shout out to Gus. We've got a pretty sick design for the playoffs coming. It should be this week. If not this week, it will be next week live in the store. We can get that out to you guys. But you would get discounts on merch, and you'll have a Discord hanging out with the Clean Sheet of Ice team. You can get in the Discord, chat with us, ask us questions, just hang out, do whatever. We can do all those things. We're looking at all that on Patreon, $10 a month. If you're interested, let us know in the comments, tweet at us, whatever. We're looking at launching that potentially this week if we have enough interest. We've got a handful of people. Just want to make sure that it's the right thing. So if you're interested in that, that'd be awesome. And then also hit the subscribe button on the Clean Sheet of Ice YouTube channel, because Colin Blackwell is signing an item, and it's still between a hat and a sweatshirt. You guys are just keep tying. So I need a hat or a sweatshirt. Vote it down below in the comments on this episode. I can't do anything else. You keep tying. Every episode, it's a hat or a sweatshirt, and it ties 50-50. So do it again. Do it again one more time, and then I'll just decide if it ties again. That's what it is. That's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, Clean Sheet of Ice fans are buzzing right now, and it's the perfect time. Like, this kind of dead period where it's like, let's get to the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, it's all hell's going to break loose.
It's going to be insane. So last year, if you were a Clean Sheet of Ice member, hanging out with us every episode in the comments, whatever, we're going to have more live streams this year on the away games. We're not every live stream, or not every away game we'll do a live stream before, but a handful of them. We're going to have episodes after every game. Look, if it's a home game, you're getting it the next morning, because I'm not driving back to my home and then making Dom stay up till 1 a.m. to record and then getting it up immediately. We're not doing that, all right? So home games, it'll be the day after the game. We're having an episode every single game of the playoffs. So if they go 21 games, we have 21 episodes throughout that time, maybe some extras. For an away game, we will typically record right after the game, and it'll be up as soon as I can get it uploaded on YouTube. That's the deal. So we will have an episode every day, or every game for the playoffs, not every day. We're not DLLS. They do a great job. So if you need everyday content, go to them. We will have our social medias and everything else buzzing as well. But every game for the playoffs, we'll have an episode.
Yeah, and hopefully it lasts over a month because I need a deep playoff run this year, just like the past 3 years that we've had.
Yeah. So with that being said, the Stars are at 100 points, fourth straight season of 100 points. Look, they made the coaching change. Everyone was questioning it. On the outside, I guess I wasn't, because I said immediately after Pete DeBoer put Jake DeBoer under the bus, or Jake Ottinger under the bus, that he was fired. Immediately, I looked at Sam Nessler and I was like, he's gone, and I was right. Thought it was going to be a little tougher, maybe a little bit different. I think it went as smoothly as it could, considering all the injuries. God forbid all these damn injuries keep happening. This is ridiculous. But the Stars are at 100 points again. They played in Pittsburgh on Saturday. Mikko Rantanen comes back, and it immediately starts off like poorly. You go on the power play pretty quickly. Colin Blackwell, I believe, was the one that went to the box, and Anthony Mantha scores his 27th goal of the season, power play goal. And you're like, where's the defense? The defense is doing it again. It's another first period where we're down. It's happening all over again. And then the second period happened, and like all hell broke loose for the Stars. It was a lot of fun in the second period.
Yeah, and to see that arena get kind of the juice sucked out of them, kind of be like, okay, this is what it's like playing the Stars. Like, you're not going to be able to rest if you make a mistake. And you mentioned that I think the past couple of games, the PK unit, it's not that they're playing bad, but there are a few position points where you can kind of attack a cross ice pass, and you're kind of seeing that. Do I think that will get cleaned up? I absolutely 100% do, because now we're finally kind of getting to see everyone healthy. Like, Mikko Rantanen never played with Tyler Myers or Michael Bunting on our teams. Like, we're now kind of seeing everybody kind of not necessarily find their role, but find situations where they would fit in. And I think that's going to be a powerful thing for goalie. But when you get that offensive spread that you got in that Pittsburgh game, like, you can get that every single night with these guys there. So that's how talented they are.
Yeah, and we've seen the depth scoring with Mikko out, with Roope out, now with Radek out, and then now with Bunting out, and then Myers left last night's game and came back. It was just Sam Steele's out. There's all kinds of depth missing, which is not ideal. But that Pittsburgh game, you go into the first period, down 1-0, you don't feel good. It's a lot like the rest of the other four game part of the losing streak before this Pittsburgh game. You're like, it's not good. And then immediately Colin Blackwell just shoots out of a cannon 2 minutes into the second period. He does all of the moves on his own. He creates this chaos, and Justin Ritzkovian, right place, right time, sends it in the back of the net, kind of a wide open net on Stuart Skinner, who was absolutely dominating, I will say, in that first period. Dallas only had 9 shots on goal, but all 9, and just Stu looked like he was the best goalie on earth, and maybe the best goalie of all time, just like we're used to. But Ritzy gets it past him, assist from Colin Blackwell and Jamie Benn there to 10 into the period. And then immediately right after that, Erik Karlsson just kind of has a floater, slap shot, snapshot, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a super hard shot for Karlsson to put into the back of the net because of all the screens that were happening in front of Jake. Jake just kind of shrugged and didn't ever see it. It's kind of unfortunate there, but up 2-1, and you're like, here we go again. It was less than a minute later. It was 48 seconds after Ritzy tied the game.
Yeah, and that was just a weird situation for Jake. Like I said, like we've kind of been seeing these situations for our goaltenders a little more than normal, but once everybody does get back into true form with line pairings, with situations, and I think that will get cleaned up. I've seen a few people kind of nervous about that, but listen, these boys know what position they're in the playoffs. Like, these are back-to-backs. They know they're going to play. This is a tough stretch for this team to play in. Like, it's hard to get up every single night when you got 99 points, now 100 points. Like, you're not going to get all-out shifts every single time, which is expected from me. But I think these guys will be fine.
Yeah, and obviously you look at that and you're like, it's not good. But then immediately after that, it felt like Pittsburgh went on the PK like 20 times in a row, and it was only 2 times in a row, which is pretty funny. It felt like there was a lot more penalties to be called maybe, and it just didn't end up that way. But Jason Robertson on the power play gets his goal. It's the Mikko's apple orchard, he just sends it over to Robo. Just an easy, fun shot for Robo when you look at it. When you saw it from the goal, like behind the goal, that screen from Wyatt Johnson, who looked like he was 10 feet tall, was really funny because he's very much all of maybe 5'11". Like he's not 10 feet tall, and it looks like he was. He's setting this crazy screen on the right side of the goal. Stuart Skinner is trying to go peek around to the right of Wyatt Johnson. He can't get around him. Robo sees that he's trying to peek over on the opposite side and just sends the easiest shot of all time over to the left side, his right, and gets his 40th goal of the season. The first pair of Dallas Stars to score 40 goals in a season in Dallas franchise history. That's not Minnesota North Stars history. That's just Dallas franchise history. Wyatt Johnston and Jason Robertson, 40-goal scorers, both at the same time. 80 goals this year between the two of them. You remember preseason with the Empty Netters boys, I said it was Miko and Robo were going to score 100 goals. I was wrong. It was Robo and Wyatt Johnston. I didn't know that. I didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, well, I thought like if Wyatt doesn't step up from last year, I'll be perfectly fine with it because last year he had an awesome season and he did. Like the best year he's had as a hockey player was this year, and it's been fun. How terrifying, Stone, of a situation you have to be for a goaltender. Jason Robertson is shooting the puck, and Wyatt Johnson is in front, ready to deflect the puck. That is terrifying for a goalie.
I can't imagine what that was. That was Mikko Rantanen's 50th assist of the season as well. Mikko's Apple Orchard is alive and well. Matt Duchene gets an assist on there, a secondary assist. And then you go right back on the power play just a couple minutes later, and Mikko Rantanen gets his 21st goal of the season. This was pass of the season for the Stars from Robo. No. Robo's 47th assist of the season. He's up at top of the point over on the left side, I believe, and sends it down to Mikko Rantanen. And when I say it's a bullet, it's not even like the actual description of it. It's a hypersonic missile heading over to Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen, I need everyone to understand how good Mikko Rantanen is at hockey, because like you can see people do drills of like stick handling and all these kinds of things, and you see it and you're like, wow, that's really impressive. When Mikko Rantanen does it, it's a different breed of hockey player. Like I just don't understand how good Mikko Rantanen is to be able to one-time that specific pass at the rate that he did, at the accuracy that he did, at the shot power that he did. I don't know how many players in the NHL can do that. I really don't, because hell of a pass from Robo, but what a fucking shot from Mikko to be able to handle that pass one, and not just like handle the pass and then send like a wrister in. He one-timed it. He had one opportunity to hit that puck on square on the nose, basically, to get it towards the net, and he did it. What a fucking shot from Mikko. It was unreal. 21st goal of the season, 47th assist for Robo, 51st assist for Miro Heiskanen, who I believe is leading the team in assists so far this year.
Man, 50 helpers from Miro. That's not a lot. Like this team, as great goal scorers as they have, some of the assists they've set up this year. I remember Thomas Harley setting one up in overtime. That was insane. Mikko literally can do it any direction on the ice. Like I had an argument the other day. Like I think Mikko Rantanen is a better puck handler than Kyrie Irving is a ball handler. And Kyrie Irving is my favorite ball handler I've ever seen. And it was pretty tough, but we both kind of conceded. Like if you go to a ticket and you watch Mikko Rantanen play hockey, he does things with the puck I don't see anybody else do. And like the talent there, like the first half of the season, every single goal had Mikko Rantanen's name in it, whether it was assist, second assist, goal. Like the dude every night is box office, man. And when these guys, like I said, when these guys are buzzing, dude, they look like they're playing playground hockey.
Yeah, you mentioned the first part of the season. That's where Mikko's Apple Orchard started. It's just like he kept getting assists on every goal. It seemed like it, and it wasn't just like, here's the puck, you do the work. Like it was Mikko doing all of the work, setting the guy up, and it was just like an easy goal, or it was just a snipe or whatever it was. Like it just, apples kept coming from the tree, and the tree is Mikko Rantanen, and that tree has a lot of trees because it's an apple orchard. There's just apples everywhere for everyone from Mikko Rantanen. So that was sick. Liam Bichsel, funniest moment of the season so far? Just stealing Erik Karlsson's stick and just knocking it to the ground, and then scoring a goal right after that, similar to what Jason Robertson had earlier in the game with the screens and everything. But Liam Bichsel's shot was an absolute fucking rocket. It was a rocket ship. When he shoots the puck, it's going hard. But absolutely hilarious scene. He's skating behind the net, takes Erik Karlsson's stick. Erik Karlsson had one hand on his stick. He was obviously loosely gripping it because it didn't look like Liam really grabbed the stick. He just kind of ran into it. And when you're 6'8", 6'7", whatever he is, and just a Greek god of a build. Like he just kind of ran into it and took the stick. And Carlson's just screaming at the ref the whole time. Took him out of the play completely. Lost his focus. Liam Bishop gets his fourth goal of the season. Maverick Bork, 19th assist. Oscar Back gets an assist there as a sixth. So you're up 4-2, feeling great going in the third period. It's fun.
Yeah, when Liam unloads on a shot, like he really gets deep and just like the follow through is insane. Sending heaters out there.
It is. So Sam Nessler from DLLS, Robert Tiffin of Star Sots, when we hang out at Morning Skate, I think a few weeks ago we were looking at Liam, and he was taking shots in Morning Skate. He was coming up to the point. And he was taking those little half slappers or wristers, just flinging it towards the net. And I believe it was Robert. Robert said, like, I believe this is what the coaching staff is telling him what to do. It's just like, this is your missing piece to your game right now. If you can just add this offensive power that you have with this shot and kind of hone it in, get a little bit more accurate, or just do it more often than not, you're either going to get an assist from a tip, or you're going to get crazy goals like he did against Pittsburgh. Maybe that's the missing piece for Lee. And obviously it's only his fourth goal of the season. He missed 8 to 10 weeks or whatever with that ankle injury, but he's back. He looks good. Had a fun time with that. But the third period, it gets a little dicey there. Funky goal there from Akari from Pittsburgh. It's 4-3, and you're like, ah, shit, here we go again. Maverick Bork, welcome to the 6-on-5 squad. You're not allowed on the bench when we have to go 6-on-5 as the defending team, because 2 empty net goals, 15th and 16th goal of the season, back-to-back empty netters, about 2 minutes apart. Maverick Bork, welcome to the 6-on-5 squad. That's it. You're just on here forever now.
Yeah, you're not leaving, Maverick. And we should have known that, like, you would have been a perfect candidate for 6-on-5 with the way you play and how aggressive you can be. Like, you're a perfect matching for these empty netters that we have not seen a lot of all season.
And that first one was funny because he sends it towards like 2 defenders, and it does deflect off of one of them, but he keeps it about waist level. So about somewhere where it could just hit the ice once or twice and kind of slide in. And it just perfectly bounced off the defender, goes into the net the first time. The second one was pretty funny. Jamie Benn doesn't have the angle. He sends it over Maverick. Maverick has the angle, takes a couple strides, sends it in. He goes post on that one. He just added a little flavor on that one, just like for no reason at all. I thought that was pretty funny. But 2 empty net goals. We were on an empty net hat trick watch. They obviously didn't pull the goalie after that one because it was 6-3. But Stars win. They break the losing streak at 4 games. They win that one. Obviously, Sunday didn't go as planned, but the fire sacrifice was called off. I had a lot of tweets when I said the fire sacrifice is looming after the 4th loss. And then even in the first period when they went up by 1, I tweeted it again. I was like, it's coming. It's time. It might be time. And it wasn't time. I have made the rule. It's 5 games for a fire sacrifice for a losing streak. It's got to be 5 games in a row. And especially when you only had 1 point in those 5 games, you didn't go to overtime 5 straight times. Oh, that would have been a little bit different of a conversation. If they lose 5 straight overtime games, that's still 5 points. Yeah. You look at it. So fire sacrifice was called off, thankfully, in Mikko Rantanen's return. But we did lose Sam Steele that night, I believe. So not great. It looks like a week or so per goalie, but we'll have to wait and see. And then last night against Philly, you lose Michael Bunting. He goes down the tunnel, doesn't come back. Tyler Myers went down for a little bit. He ended up coming back in the third period. So I'm unsure what that was. But what do you think of the Flyers game? I wasn't able to watch like the first 2 periods. I was driving to Alabama and then got here and ate dinner. So I watched the third period in its entirety, which wasn't fun to watch.
Yeah, dude, I have not a single note in the third period of my game notes. It was just a neutral zone battle. But in the first period, both teams kind of shared penalties, and it was your typical kind of Stars start that we've seen, really low shots, but also our defense not giving up that many shots as well. Second period got a little feisty. Second period, I was seeing Jason Robertson get a little edgy after the play is called. Mikko Rantanen, even Miro Heiskanen was out there kind of holding court. Both teams coming off of a back-to-back. Philadelphia winning their back-to-back first leg. There was some edginess, but really what I saw was just same thing I've been seeing. It's just getting into situations just so you're prepared. And I think the feistiness and I don't know what the hits totals were for Dallas, but what I'm seeing out of this team is they'd rather back off a little bit and try to lock down on defensive positioning for these next few games. And they were doing that like very few times. I think on the PK we did get out of position, but it looked like the coaching staff put an emphasis on staying back and not giving up any breakaways. But the second period, it was a firestorm from both teams.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the numbers, obviously. I saw things come up on my phone as I got here to Alabama. Obviously, shots on goal were not good, 30-18, but that's not like an unheard story from the Stars this season, right? They typically are getting outshot when in games that they win. Obviously, when you only put one goal on on the board, that's not good enough. It's not for lack of chances. I think there's a handful of chances that I saw from clips and stuff that they could have scored on. Didn't work out. Late in the third period, I felt like they had a chance to score. They didn't. Obviously, with the power play towards there at the end, the last 2 minutes and 40 something seconds, they started the power play with 2 minutes and they didn't score. Kind of disappointing. It is what it is. They had a couple of good looks too the first time they got in the zone. So it is what it is. You lost the faceoff battle by a pretty good margin, which is uncharacteristic. Obviously, you go with the power play goal to Konecki. Shout out to Artu Huru scoring his first ever career goal. Unassisted and shorthanded. He just kind of jumped the play. And Robert and Sam also tweeted this out, but I've heard them talking about it, about Huru. We're kind of enamored with the kid. The way that he practices faceoffs is like crazy. And obviously it shows because his faceoff percentages is through the roof compared to everybody else in the league. That's why he's still on the team. That's why he's manning that fourth line right now with Radek Faksa out, with Sam Steele out now, and now without Michael Bunting. Like, Huru's kind of earned his spot, and I would not be surprised if he's just on this team next year from the go because of what he can do on the PK, because of what he can do on faceoffs, because of what he can do on defense. But that shot was disgusting from where he sent it. Like, he didn't take a lot of strides once he got the puck. It was just a sneaky release that we see out of Robo, that we've seen out of some other guys on the team, right? We talk about their release, how they can kind of manipulate the puck and how it looks on his shot. That shot looked fucking weird coming off of his stick as a goaltender. I don't know how you see that. And he sends it top right with that accuracy, shorthanded, being on the PK. Sick first goal of his NHL career for Artu Huru. Just an awesome moment for the kid. Obviously, tied game. Late in that second period, you kind of feel better going into the third period. Nothing happened in the third period. Flyers kind of owned it. But shout out to Artu Huru. It was a cool moment for that guy.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, he was looking good before the goal, and I even have it jotted down on my game notes. Like, Artu Huru, man, he's doing the things that you want, especially with the injuries that we have. And that's like just the story with everybody we bring up from Texas. Like, very few times do I like kind of know who they are. There's other reporters and Dallas media that who was it that was big on Ritzkovian before he ever wore Stars? Dude, like, what we got going down there, like, it's not known. Like, other franchises don't have this. And I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, man, R2 looks really good out there. He's playing really well. We're down 1 goal at the moment. So I'm like, man, it sucks for Casey, because I thought Casey was playing a hell of a game too. It would suck to kind of just waste this game, but I do understand these guys' legs. I'm seeing it. Like, they're cooked on a back-to-back, but to get that juice really uplifted a lot of the deep pairings right after that moment.
Yeah, it was just a fun goal for Artu Huru. I genuinely, just like Ritzy last year when he came up for those 5-ish games in the middle of the season, like January timeframe, I believe, or December. I can't remember when all the injuries happened last year. But Ritzy came up and I was like, interesting. Blue Mel also came up and scored a few goals that always got called off. Obviously, he was going to be an unrestricted free agent this past summer. The Stars elected to let him go because of what they had down in Texas. Like you said, they've got a great system right now. You had Huru, Ritzy, Oscar Beck was down there. Liam Bishop was down there. Like, you have a handful of dudes that worked with Neil Graham, who runs the power play now for the Dallas Stars. He was their head coach down in Texas for a while there. He helped coach all these guys. So they run the same system. They run the same plays. They run all these certain things, and they train the same way that the Stars do. Like, so when they show up to the NHL, it's not as much of a culture shock necessarily as it could be for other organizations. Like, we're Astros fans, obviously. We heard that for a decade. When the Astros run was going, like, every guy that came up just knew the culture, that knew what was needed of them, knew what the advanced metrics were, all those meetings, all that kind of stuff. Like, they just knew what was going on. the Dallas Stars run it the same way. It's a professional organization, and I believe a lot of teams probably do it that way. I'm just curious to see like how many organizations have guys that can just show up like Artu Huru and just be like, hey, I need you to play 20 games right now with Roope Hintz out, with Mikko Rantanen out, with Radek Faksa out, now with Sam Steele out, with Michael Bunting out for whatever happens. Like, we need you to step up. You might have to play some third line. You might have to play a lot of PK. You might have to sneak in here. And he's just like, okay, sounds good. And he's just off and he's doing his job. I think that's a sick way of showing what the Dallas Stars organization is like doing from top to bottom, from Jim Nill down to the Texas Stars. Like it's pretty sick. So obviously the overtime game happens. Trevor Zegras. It's another one of those overtime games where defense kind of just isn't there. Thought they backed off of Zegras a little too much. They didn't kind of go after him, even though there was still help on the other side. I think that's all it was. Zegras sent a 6-shot in. Can't really do anything about it. Casey is let down again. It's just another one of those games where Casey gets let down for having a really stellar game. A 1.89 GAA, and his save percentage was 9.33 last night. He earned a win and he didn't get one, and it sucks. But you got a point. You got 3 points on the weekend when you had 1 point in 4 games. I'm not going to really complain too much with all the injuries that happened last night and the night before, and you're just now getting Mikko back. I'm not too disappointed with the loss last night. It is what it is. It's just overtime. You can't win them all.
I would love to win an overtime draw. Like that would really make me happy. But I would say like they did fight to get the puck back after that loss. And I don't think Philly got a quality shot with that opening draw. So you take it for what it is. You just kind of chalk it up. And I think for at being a back-to-back, I saw Tyler Myers' injury. I'm not in the locker room, so I wouldn't know. But the way it looked, I think he will be okay. I think it will be like a Sam Steele situation. So you just kind of you get back on the road. I think it's Boston next, and you just kind of continue to work those situations. And everybody knows what the main goal is, so you don't really react too hard, too high, too low in this point of the season.
Yeah, it is what it is. Boston on Tuesday, last game of the 4-game road trip, right? Then you head into April and you have a 5-game homestand. It's Winnipeg at home on Thursday, Saturday afternoon game on ABC, 2:00 on Saturday against the Colorado Avalanche, and I'm very much unsure if I'm watching. Got something scheduled at the exact same time.
Okay. I get where you're. Okay.
Yeah. You'll see like the week after that. I'll put it out on socials, but I haven't put that out there. So may not be watching that one. So Dom, you're gonna have to be at our eyes and ears on Saturday for Monday's episode. It's gonna have to be what it is.
I will man the fort.
But yeah, 5-game homestand. I won't be at any of these games. Savannah's going to be at eyes and ears in AAC, at practice, at the games, through all the press conferences and hanging out with guys in the locker room. She's going to help us out there. I will be back after the homestand. Like I think I literally come home the day after the homestand ends, back to Dallas, but I'll be back there for all the playoff games, every single one at home. Unless anything crazy happens. Who's to say?
Well, there will be crazy things happening, but they will be on the ice.
I hope it stays that way. But yeah, it is what it is. You got 3 points out of 4 on the back-to-back. It's kind of hard to complain there. Back-to-backs are hard. You can see it in the guys. They were tired and everything. Myers came back, so I'm not worried about him. Bunting did not come back, so that's the injury that I'm like unsure about. I have no idea. The high-rise camera from that one was a little weird, so we'll have to wait and see on what the update is from Michael Bunting. If he just went back to Dallas last night, we'll have to wait and see. But that'll do it. I don't know. You got anything else, Dom?
Man, what I look out for on injuries at this point of the year is just hopefully there's no setbacks. And I haven't seen any setbacks for Roope. So that's really all it's such a stark change from last year when no Miro. Sagan was like, we didn't know, like we knew he was coming back, but there was no, like, you don't get anything out of Dallas management. You just don't, which is a good thing, but it's terrible for a diehard fan like me. But I'm very optimistic with Roope. I know they're taking their time with him, and still I am furious with that injury in Nathan McKinnon, but that will just have to be held until hopefully we see them again.
Yeah. We did get an update on ropes yesterday. Was that yesterday, I believe, or day before? He's skating again already. He's feeling better. They say goalie did say they're optimistic they'll get him before the end of the season, whether that's the homestand through April 11th or the Buffalo game on April 15th. That's the last game of the season, game 82. At some point in there, I would assume it might be like Sagan last year, where he plays just game 82 and just gets his legs back for a game before the playoffs start. Could be like that if everything goes well. We'll have to wait and see. Radek Faksa has started skating, which is good because we've seen him in that mini boot. It's not a huge boot. It's not one with a lot of pressurized air or anything like that. It was just kind of a protective thing, it looked like, which him skating and not, I would assume that means he's not in the boot anymore or only has to wear the boot for a certain amount of time every day. That's good news. He's still looking like first round of the playoffs at some point. He'll be back, which would be huge. Sam Steele, they said, was around a week with his injury. And then we're not sure about Bunting right now. And obviously Myers, he got dinged up a little bit last night, but played the rest of the game. So I'm unsure if he's going to just take a rest day against Boston or what that's going to look like. You still got Labushin, you still got Capo, you still got Petro back there. They can fill in for a game or two or three if you wanted them to and let Myers rest and get completely healthy back before the playoffs. But I think that's good news on the injury front. Whereas, like you said last year, Miro's week to week, and we didn't see him for 3 months. Tyler was saying, yep, we're going to see him here in the next couple of weeks, and then it was over a month. Same with Robo. Yep, he's week to week, and then he was day to day for weeks on end, and then showed up against Edmonton. So, or he came back against Winnipeg in game 1, right? Like he showed up earlier, and we were like, oh shit, he's back. Okay, sick. Miro took 9 years last year, which was understandable based on his injury, but we're getting better at injury updates this year than we were last year.
Yeah, we are getting better, but these injuries that are happening to the Stars are all bullshit injuries from terrible, like the league that the league's caught a lot of heat right now for officiating, and I think it will get improved soon because it has to.
Well, you see the NFL, and those refs might be going on strike this year and going to have replacement refs. It's going to be a disaster. That's NFL talk. Shout out to Play Action Takes, our Apollo Media's NFL podcast. You can go check them out. I don't know if we're recording today, but we'll be back before the draft. But yeah, that'll do it for Clean Sheet Advice. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers before the playoff starts. We got a few more weeks here, about 2.5, 3 weeks, right? Trying to get to 500 subs. We're about 135 away, so we're getting really close. We will give away a Colin Blackwell signed hat or sweatshirt/hoodie, whichever one I can find in the store. We'll give away one of those, okay? So you got to decide in the comment section, and if it is not decided today, I am just picking, and it is what it is. You're going to have to deal with whatever signed item it is from Colin Blackwell. He already said he would sign it. We'll get that out by playoff time. 500 subs before playoffs. Patreon. Let us know if you're interested in the Patreon. Extra live streams, extra Q&As, all exclusive to Patreon members and a Discord with the Clean Sheet Advice members. So me, Dom, Savannah, Luke will all be in this Discord with you guys, interacting, hanging out, doing whatever. You get all of these things with the Patreon. We're going to probably launch that later this week because you're also going to get early access on our merch. We've got a 6 shirt coming for the playoffs. Shout out to Gus for the design. We're getting that finalized. We'll get it up in the store hopefully this week. So if we launch the Patreon, you're going to get early access and a discount for our merch for Clean Sheet Advice. We're going to have a Texas hockey thing. We've already got like 4 shirts locked and loaded, dude. We've already got them all. You've seen them. You've seen them. They're pretty sick.
I'm just waiting to get mine.
Yeah, we're going to get them out to the team first, but Patreon, we're going to launch that hopefully this week if everyone's interested, and then we'll do exclusive 48-hour window before we launch it to the public of launching that merch out to everyone else. We'll put it on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. You'll see the merch when it comes out there, but you can get first look on Patreon. So whenever Patreon's live, obviously I'll be tweeting it out. Clean Sheet Advice on socials will be putting it out, and it will be in the description on our YouTube and audio podcast platforms like Apple and Spotify every time we put out an episode. So if you are interested in joining at a later date, you can do that as well. So be on the lookout for that. Patreon coming this week. Merch coming soon for the Patreon members before the public gets it. So yeah, that'll do it. Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast. We'll be back with another episode on Wednesday. We'll be back with another episode of Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast.